Last class we have been mentioning about torque on a conical pendulum, and the magnitude of the torque we obtained as mgl sine alpha. Now writing the angular momentum lb in the vector form, it has got component in the radius r direction as well as z direction. So lb is equal to, that is corresponding to lr, you have ml omega cos alpha corresponding to lz component. These are given in the previous figure. You can refer your previous video. In that it is clearly shown mlr omega sin alpha l into unit vector k. This is along z direction. So these are the two components of angular momentum resolved along r and z. Now the rate of change of angular momentum d by dt of lb, that is equal to along the z direction. This is the component along the z direction. Along the z direction it is not changing, for that is what we have mentioned. So this is not changing means rate of change will be 0. So the component which is coming in this rate of change is only the radial component. So mlr omega cos alpha dr by dt. So this is the component along the this is the angular momentum, rate of change of angular momentum you are getting, and dr by dt, that is equal to mlr square cos alpha unit vector theta. How we get this unit vector theta is using the unit vectors in the r theta coordinates. This is r theta, x, y, z is your rectangular coordinates. In cylindrical coordinates you have r, theta and z. So here you are having r, theta, z is in the perpendicular direction. So when you resolve this unit vector, r cap is the unit vector. This is r cap. You can resolve along x direction. You draw perpendicular to the x axis. You get magnitude of r into cos alpha, cos theta. That is I cos theta, because unit vector means its magnitude is 1 plus component along the y direction, that is the sine component. Magnitude is 1 because unit vector. So again the resolved vectors are, for the unit vector is I cos theta plus j sin theta. Similarly, this is unit vector theta. This is unit vector r. This is unit vector theta. Theta is along the direction perpendicular to the rotation. This is the direction tangential to the rotation. That is the direction of theta. And unit vector theta, we can resolve it along the x and y direction. If this angle is theta, you can extend this. This is a parallel, so this angle also will be theta. This is unit vector theta cap. If this angle is theta, if you drop a perpendicular, this angle also will be theta. So when you resolve this is unit vector theta, you have to resolve it along the x direction. Along the x direction, the component, because this is in the anti-clockwise direction, its component will be along this direction. So this is minus negative x-axis. So minus term will come there. If this is theta, this will be the sine component. So I'll have minus I sin theta as the component which is parallel to the x-axis. Now the perpendicular component will be, it will be cos component here, because this angle is theta. So that will be j, along y direction means j cos theta. So the unit vector theta is resolved as minus I sin theta plus j cos theta. This you have studied in your plus 2 classes. You just refer all those things. So now I am taking the derivative of this unit vector r. So dr by dt will be, I have to differentiate this quantity. That will be I into d by dt of cos theta. That is, when you differentiate cos theta, you get minus sin theta into d theta by dt. Similarly, this will be j cos theta d theta by dt. I can take d theta by dt outside. So in brackets you will get minus I sin theta plus j cos theta. This term is equal to our unit vector theta. So this will be d theta by dt into unit vector theta. d theta by dt can also be written as theta dot, or this is also equal to the angular velocity omega. So I can write this as theta dot into unit vector theta, which is equal to omega theta. So it is this substitution we are using here. dr by dt you have substituted as omega theta. So that omega is coming here and becoming omega square, and unit vector theta is coming here. That is how you got this expression. Next is torque due to gravity. A body of mass m is considered. It is considered to be made up of a large number of particles of mass m1, m2, m3, etc. And A is an origin. So with respect to that origin, we have to find out the torque due to gravity. Objects falling under gravity, rotating under gravity, all these things can form in this case. So you have to calculate the torque due to each of the particle. If I am considering the jth particle, the torque due to the jth particle will be the unit vector rj cross, this is the force, r cross f. Force on the jth particle is mass mj into gravity g, mg. So r cross mg. So this is for the jth particle. Like that I have to sum up for all the particles. A is the origin I have considered. Rj is the distance or the position vector of the jth particle. So the total torque will be summing over all such particles. So I can write the sum over Rj cross mj into g. M is not a vector, it is a scalar quantity, so I can take it this side. So this becomes sum over mj rj cross g. Sum over mj rj is capital M into r. That is by the definition of center of mass. Capital M is the total mass of the object, and r is the position vector of the center of mass. Center of mass is a point where the total weight of the body is imagined to be balanced, or that is a place where you pivot an object to keep it balanced. So the torque tau is equal to the total mass m into, this is position vector of center of mass, into g. So that is r cross mg. mg is the weight of the object w, so this is equal to r cross w.